are you guys? I am gonna do a new technique that I just learned. It is called the Camo makeup technique, and it uses my favorite makeup, my 𝐁𝐫𝐶 Compact. If you haven't seen this before, it is literally everything in one compact for your entire face. Eyeshadow, foundation, lip and cheek colors, eyebrows, literally everything except mascara. I'm gonna jump right in. The first thing I'm gonna start with, I have my beauty blender that I got wet already and I wring it out, so there's nothing extra on there. And I'm gonna use our Stay Spray. This is the 𝐁𝐫𝐶 Stay Spray. I'm just gonna spray that on there, kind of from a distance so it gets all over. And then the reason I use this is gonna help my makeup stay all day. It stays already pretty well without this, but this just ensures it has just a little bit extra. So this is normally for setting your makeup at the end, but right now I'm using it as a primer. And I'm gonna make sure that I get all the way in underneath those eyes. I'm even gonna go on top of my eyelid. I'm gonna go underneath the lip, around the mouth, and those little corners around the nose, everything. I'm just gonna make sure that I get it everywhere. And even underneath the chin, because we're gonna do a little bit of contouring there. Okay, and then we're even gonna come back at the end and use this to just kind of set a little bit because there's still some setting spray on there. If you're interested in trying this makeup, just message me or DM me color match and I can help you pick that out. So I color match you for these colors. So I'm gonna show you these colors today. This is my main highlight, so it's gonna be the closest to my skin tone, a brightening highlight, but now the addition is a darker color. So I've been playing around with this one to see which one I like best, and I'm gonna change the names a little bit. Now we're gonna call this, instead of a main highlight and brightening highlight, it's gonna be the Camo, the Bridge, and the Pop. And I'll show you how we do that. Up here I have my bronzer, an illuminator, and then my contour color. So I am gonna start with my Camo color first. This is the Buff Brush. Great for everybody, it gives you full coverage. I'm gonna use it today to do a little bit of spot correction, if you will. So with the Camo color, I'm only gonna put it in the areas that I need a little bit of correcting. So the principle with this is that we're doing all makeup in one layer. Not multiple layers, we're just using the right colors in the right spot, and then we're gonna blend everything together for a flawless look in one compact. So this is a color called Mango, and I'm using it just to correct right underneath my eyes there. And then I have a little bit of redness here around my mouth, so I'm gonna put a little bit there. I know it's gonna look kind of funky to begin with, but bear with me. And then so you can use this to correct for acne, melasma, under eye circles, any of those areas that just need a little bit of extra color correction, if you will. I'm probably gonna end up using a lighter Camo color long term, but I like this one for right now. Okay, so those are the only areas. I have a little bit of redness right here on my chin that I am going to correct with that Mango color. Okay, now I'm gonna go into my contour. So my contour is up here. Again, everything in one compact. I'm gonna switch brushes to this one, and I'm actually gonna use the smaller side, and I'm gonna look for that shadow area right here. I don't have a ton of definition to use, but I'm gonna start a little bit above my ear, and I just wanna create a shadow, and I'm gonna follow that cheekbone down with that shadow. Starting a little bit up here first, just to see how much I need. With contour, less is more, so if you don't need more, don't use it. And the more angled down that brush is, the more of like a cut, slim, defined look you're gonna get for your face. So I'm just gonna bring it down. My little one's over here, so if you hear her squawking, that's what that is. And then I'm just gonna use the bottom side of this brush to fan that up and create a little bit of a shadow. Same thing on this side. I'm not using a ton. If you feel like you have to use a lot, we can always correct the color or the placement to make sure that you're not, because it should be easy. And then I'm just gonna brush that, whoop, get that hair out of the way, brush that up so it really just creates a more defined shadow. There, so now I have a little bit more cheekbone, and I might come back and do just a little bit more on that side. And that's it, that is contour, nothing crazy. I'm gonna use that same side and go up around the top of my forehead. And so up here, you wanna imagine a triangle. And everything on the outside of that triangle is where we're gonna add the contour. I lied, I'm gonna use this side. So I'm dabbing into my contour and I'm gonna come from the hairline down and make that triangle shape. And the nice thing about putting this makeup where it is and letting it just kind of sit there is that the heat from my skin is warming up this cream makeup and making it easier to blend at the end. So it'll give us an even more flawless finish. So that's one of the reasons that I'm loving this technique already. So you can see I'm making that triangle, keeping all of this in the middle bright, working from that hairline so that you don't have like a spot with no makeup, because that would be no bueno. Okay. Contour, I'm going to take whatever's left on my brush, maybe a little bit more, and just kind of chisel out the bottom. And you can see that just gives a little bit more definition between my neck and my face. And just a tiny bit back here around the jaw to just kind of sculpt that out. And then a little bit more here, behind the chin. And that just gives a little bit more definition to where those cut lines are on my face. You can see it just gives a shadow. And we'll come back and blend that later. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to that lighter side. If you feel like you have a little extra product, you can just kind of brush it off, but there's really not a lot of product on the brush, so you don't have to clean it in between, which is something I love about it too. So now we did our camo color, we did our contour. Now I'm gonna go into the pop color. A little bit of dab with that brush, and I'm gonna put this in the areas that I wanna add extra light. So this for me is a color called Linen. And I am just going to put that right here on that inner corner. And you can even pull it if you want to make your nose look a little slimmer. Just come down the inside of the nose, like that. I want this color to be in that bright triangle of light area that we did earlier. A little bit out here. So you can see why this is called the camo method. We're literally doing dots of makeup in different places. And the nice thing about it is when you blend all of this, some of your natural skin tone is gonna still come through. So it's not covering up every little bit of skin. It's just covering up the areas that we need and adding the color in the right spots. Okay. I'm gonna contour my nose last. So now that we've done the camo, the pop, and the contour, we're gonna go to the bridge. And the bridge is gonna go in between in those areas that we didn't already do. So I'm gonna use the bigger side of my brush, go into that main color, and pop it down here along the bottom, here along the side, kind of in some of these areas here. My screen keeps falling asleep. I don't know why. And there. Looks kind of funky, right? So I'm gonna use this blend brush, big fluffy end of the brush, and then this smaller side. This is for blush, but I really like it for blending. So I'm gonna start by blending in that lighter area, and you can see it just starts to all meld together. Underneath the eye, pulling that up toward the side. Doing these two spots for the pop color really gives it so much lift. Just like that. Down the nose, so that's all of our bright colors, and then I'm gonna start working into the rest of it. I wanna add a little bit of my bridge color on top of my mouth. Okay, so just starting to lightly press, push all that makeup into those areas of my skin. I'm not doing a lot of swirling, I'm literally just pushing because everything is already where I want it to be. I just want it to blend. And you can see it starting to look more and more flawless. Everything just goes together. And then if you feel like you need to go back and touch up any areas, you can absolutely do that. But what this does is it gives you that flawless, beautiful look, right? Okay, so I didn't finish my nose. I'm gonna use my main color and just kind of lightly dust on my nose. And then to contour, I'm actually gonna just dip my finger in that contour color. I'm gonna warm it up between my fingers and then really lightly, again, less contour is more, draw two little lines. The closer you get these contour lines, the slimmer your nose is gonna look. And then you can even bring it up into that brow bone. Oh yeah? What do you think? What do you think? And you can see how that already gives it a lot more detail. And then I'm just going to blend down the sides. And that just slims the nose and gives you a little bit more to look at in the middle of your face. Okay, now why in our compact are these three colors together? Bronzer, my glow illuminator, and my contour? I'll show you. We're gonna mix them. So I'm gonna take the big fluffy side of this brush and swirl in all three of those colors. You can kind of move the brush around, back and forth, and then watch this magic. We're gonna dust just on the outside. It's totally up to you how much bronzer and illuminator you want. This is buildable, but you can just fluff that color on there. And it really makes those cheeks just stand out a little bit more. So look at the difference. What? Isn't that gorgeous? Just gives you a little bit more definition. My hair is got a mind of its own today. Okay, I'm gonna swirl a little more. And you're almost not even touching your skin. You're just barely grazing over it. So don't feel like you need to have a heavy hand here. Lighter is always better. You can always go back and add more. If you want a little bit more of a sun-kissed glow, you can kind of dab across your nose and across the front of your cheeks where you would where the sun would hit. And you can even pull that color down here if you want your neck to be a little bit darker. But how gorgeous and glowy is that? We've got that beautiful triangle open, under our eyes are open, tons of color. And it's super easy. Okay, these two colors, so gorgeous. I am gonna use, this is Tropicana and this is Hollywood. I'm gonna use Hollywood. I'm just gonna use my finger to warm that cream up, and I'm gonna dab it on the outside of my cheekbone, leaving this area on top nice and bright. And I'm not gonna put it on the apples of my cheeks like we're normally taught. I'm gonna do it a little bit wider, and here's why. This color goes a long way. I'm gonna go back to that blush and bronzer brush, and I'm just gonna gently press it in. Again, not smearing, just pressing. And that cream just melds right in beautifully. So if you start with the majority of it here and then blend, it's gonna give you that gorgeous look all the way down the side. And still keep that under eye area nice and open. I like to blend it down just a bit to keep it off that eye bone. And then I use the fluffy side to just blend it out so it's nice and diffuse and looks super natural. Okay, what do you guys think of this look? I do finish my lips with the Milk Moisturizer. And I don't typically line my lips, but you definitely can. I'm gonna use that same color. This is Hollywood. This is the multitasker brush to do my lips. Guys, this is all one compact. It's unreal. Makeup all in one spot and as fast as you want it to be. So all colors are on top. This was the Camo, the Bridge, and the Pop. I color matching for all of these, so don't feel like you need to know them. Hey, sweet girl. Bronzer, illuminator, and contour. And then on the bottom, what's up? There we go. This is the joy of working from home. I get to have my little girl right next to me. 2 lip and cheek colors, a brow wax, and then a plethora of eyeshadow. You can customize this however you want. So if you're interested in getting your hands on this makeup, just message me color match, or you can go to the link in my bio and do color match there as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this technique. It is so fun to have everything in one spot, and it gives such a beautiful, flawless finish. So I will see you guys next time.